All right. Good to see everybody. Big waves to you. Happy Tuesday. Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. So we're going to talk over the next few minutes, and hopefully I can get some interaction with you. That's my hope today, is to get some interaction, but I also want to build for next week's live Chalk Talk, because one of the things that we're going to do each and every week is try to coach and train and work with you on the shoppable lives that are going to go on Wednesdays. Okay, next Wednesday is our next shoppable live. Now, we're having people have tremendous results on these shoppable lives, and we want you to as well. So if you will, just set that over there. So give me just a second, guys. Hold on just a second. All right. So next Tuesday, Andrea Rosser and a whole possible group of people are going to be working with you on the Chalk Talk about just how to do the shoppable lives, okay? And what I would encourage you to do is I would encourage you to follow somebody like Ashley Paulson right now, Andrea Rosser, Crystal Vance, Tammy Motby. Okay, there's others on here. I could go around, so don't be offended if I didn't call your name. But follow those and see what they're doing on social media as they're preparing for the shoppable lives next Wednesday. And know this, they are so welcome for you to grab their stuff and copy it. Reverse engineer it for your needs, okay? Does that make sense? Kind of give me a big wave if you get what I'm saying here, okay? Let's be interactive today, and I look forward to working with you. So I actually just got off of a video Zoom with a regional event that's going to go on in a few days in Mexico. And one of the things that they asked me about, and I wanted to talk with you about today on the Chalk Talk and get some interaction with you, is how to take your job seriously. And Carlos, the general manager of Mexico, we were talking, and he said, you know, what do you do like over your career in this industry? What do you do to grow your business? And I said, well, we can talk about being consistent and persistent. I said, but here's the biggest thing. I had a great mentor that still mentors me today. Matter of fact, I was in Orlando, Florida with him just this past weekend. And it's the nuggets, it's the little things that you might spend a whole day with, but you find the little things that you remember, right? And throughout the years of building network marketing, one of the things that I hear people say a lot is, I want to be my own boss. I want to own my own business. Like I want to do that. But the nugget that I learned here in this industry is, if you would treat this as a job, as if you had an employer, it's actually the best way to build, right? And what I mean by that is, if somebody was paying you a salary, you would expect to show up, right? You would expect to do something today. They would just, you know, when Arlene was a teacher, she couldn't just say, you know what, I think I might take off Monday through Friday, but I still want to get paid. You know, that wouldn't go on very long before they said, you know what, we're going to stop your paycheck. But in network marketing, sometimes we say we want to be our own boss. We want to, you know, we want to do all this. We want to have a lifestyle, but we don't employ ourselves like we had a job. So one of the things that I want to talk to you about is, and here's why I'm saying this about my mentor, because some of you have heard over and over and over and over again, if you've been on my team over the years, but you can never say it enough. Because as I was training Mexico today for their event, it was training me, because I was like, Brent, you can find yourself in what I'm about to train you, okay? And so I think that we constantly have to learn something and then reteach it to ourselves over and over. It's kind of like a good book, right? Like a good book is something that you read, you put it on the shelf, and then you pull it out and read it again and read it again and read it again and read it again. And sometimes, how many of you would agree? Like the book that you've like looked through like 15 different times is the best tool. Well, to me, little training session, sometimes you got to go back through them. And so here's what I was coaching Mexico on today that I want to coach us on together, because it coached me as I coached them, right? Does that make sense? So here it is. Taking the job seriously that we have in network marketing, whether it's an hour a day or 5 hours a day, like it's all about you, right? And how much time you're going to put into it. Nobody's telling you how much time. The more time you put, the more opportunity to reward yourself financially you're going to have. So the person that's putting 5 hours a day in the right spots are going to make more money than the person putting 30 minutes a day in the right spots. Okay, it's just the way it is. It's the law of numbers. So here's the thing that I first said. The first thing that I learned that was golden for me in employing myself and taking my job serious in network marketing was called 4 stages. 4 stages. Every single person in this Zoom today can find themselves in one of these 4 stages, or maybe multiple of the 4 stages. Now, here's stage 1. Create and build. Okay? Now, create and build is, think about you when you first got started. Okay? So I want to go to come on, somebody tell me. Somebody raise your hand and it's, what was create and build mode for you when you first came into the, maybe it was new age, or maybe it was a company that is now new age. Like, what did you do? What did you do? Stage 1, create and build. Anybody want to say? Come on now. Arlene, tell me, Arlene.
Hey, I've got to unmute myself. Well, I was a teacher, as you know, and I was all turned on because we had just bought a new house, and we just built a new house, and Ennis lost his job, and I was the sole earner, and you know, a teacher's salary, how much money you get. And so
Yes.
I was hot to trot. And I'll tell you what, I went to as a special ed teacher, I had a lot of interaction with the teachers. So I went to every teacher and I sold them on the idea of, hey, you've got to get a side hustle here. You can't live like this and blah, blah, blah. Anyway, it got to where a point that nobody talked to me. I mean, when teachers saw me coming, they went the other way. So you can relate, no doubt.
No, I can relate. But like to make your first sale, what did you do? Like what did you do in the industry? You obviously have sold something up to this point. Like, but what did you do right here? Stage 1 is create and build. Just was you just excited? You didn't know anything about
I didn't know anything. I did 2 things. One, I got Tim Sales' Brilliant Compensation, and I listened to that, and inviting formula, and I listened to that, and I learned how to invite. I learned how to listen. And then after I learned how to listen, I was able to create, because I listened to where the pain points were, and then I was able to build. And
okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I got to touch on that, Arlene. She listened to Brilliant Compensation, and then she also listened to training on how to invite, how to listen, and then she was ready to go share, right? So yes. I think Brilliant Compensation, what it does is it builds your belief, right? Yeah. There's another great read that I send a lot of new people. It's called Beach Money.
Yeah,
Beach Money.
I love it.
Because Beach Money talks about the power of this industry if you really get residual income. Now, what Beach Money does, when you read it, you first see the words, you're like, beach money, come on, what is that? Like, but if you actually listen to Beach Money, it's really exciting because of what residual income can turn into. So thanks, Arlene. I just wanted to highlight, like Arlene said, and she hit some gold nuggets. Like I went out and I listened. Brilliant Compensation, Belief Builder, what the industry can do, and then how to invite, how to listen. which is the two biggest things you got to have in the industry. But create and build, Ashley said, I got excited and I ran. How many of you, maybe put in the comments, maybe me, if you ran kind of ignorance on fire? You were just excited. Like you're running around going, you got to have this. You got to see this. Like you got, like I gotta, right? And so a lot of times ignorance on fire, if you will, is the way most people get started because they don't know anything, but they're just out sharing. Now, is some people running away, but they're also collecting some, right? It's kind of like fishing. We could go out to the lake today and somebody could sit down and read like 6 books on how to fish. And then others could throw the rod and reel in the river and go swim in and get it and just throw it. And, and you throw it and you throw it. But that person leaves the day with 1 fish, where the person reading 12 books before they actually fish is starving, right? So sometimes learning as you go, that's the beautiful thing about this industry. You do. And people can tell you you're going to burn through things, you're going to do all this. Here's what I would say. If you really want to get somebody started, just like yourself, you got to make some kind of movement in the industry pretty quick, or most people will what? They'll quit. Because one of the things we've done in America is we perfected what? Quitting. We've perfected quitting. Like it's just easy to take my ball, go to another court. So we got to get people started. So here we go. Create and build is first phase. Now there's a reason I'm telling you this today, okay? So I'm going to move. Second phase is manage, okay? Now, manage tends to happen when you start to learn more, right? You started to build a team. Now I got to do a team call every week. Now I got to do a training like I'm doing today, right here with the Chalk Talk. Now I'm managing this organization, right? Now, we typically as humans love to manage because it makes us feel important, right? Now, do you have to manage some in this business? 100%, absolutely. But here's what you really want to do. To treat this job serious, like I was talking in Training Mexico earlier, is you got to spend about 80% of your time here and about 20% of your time here. Okay? Now, 80% of my time's got to be in create and build. What does that mean? I'm creating and building for me personally, and I'm helping my team create and build. It means being in the presence of the prospect, okay? Create and build is prospect driven. So you can do everything today in New Age. But if you are not in the presence of prospects throughout the day, whether it's 30 minutes a day or 5 hours a day or 12 hours a day, I'm sorry. You're not going to grow to your potential. So 80% of your time, if you're giving it 60 minutes out of a day, 80% of that 60 minutes has got to be spent creating and building. 20% is in manage. What's manage? Trainings. It's me calling and checking on Arlene. What if I spent 80% of my time calling and checking on Arlene, and then calling Kathy, and then calling Jerry and going, Jerry, how's Wyoming? It's so beautiful in Wyoming. Girl, let me tell you. And I start talking to Jerry, and I hang up with Jerry, and I call Jane Rouse and go, Jane, what's going on? How's life? And then I get to the end of my day, and I fill up my day just calling my team. No, I gotta do that, but I gotta prioritize doing it. Is everybody with me? Kind of give me a wave if you're with me, if you're feeling my flow. Here's typically what happens, okay? I'm gonna hopefully erase this. Here's typically what happens. We reverse it. Once we start building a team, so that's you, and now I've built a downline, I go to 80% here and 20% here, okay? How many of you agree? Give me an amen in the comment. Like, ooh, that's me. I'm in manage. I like it. So here's the thing. What ends up happening if I do this, then as soon as this 80% of my time with my team and they're not effective, like they stop doing what they need to do, then I become a defender of non-growth. Okay? What does that look like? It's excuses. It's summertime. It's wintertime. It's springtime. They're not building because they're watching the butterflies. The prospects are not interested anymore. My hometown is negative about network marketing. I can't grow on social media because I'm too old. I can't grow on social media because I'm too young. I can't grow because I once grew and I ran through my contacts and I can't grow no more. I built in the 80s and now it's in 2022 and I've lost excuse. So if you sound like this, it's because you've managed to the point where no one's working and now you're starting to defend why no one's working. Give me an amen if you get that. If you've ever felt that. I have. Understand, I have been in stage 3. Okay, so don't feel bad. I've been right here. Okay, here's the scary part. When you start hearing yourself make excuses, you better run back to stage 1. Because if you don't, you will go to stage 4, which is blame. Woohoo! If you see yourself in blame, the company didn't produce the video. The Renew does not work like it did. Lean Move 5X tastes different. And you start filling your head of blaming, you're about to take your ball and quit. You're about to go to the next playing ground, right? So blame is something we want to keep everybody away from that. When they start hearing excuses, they run back to create and build. Now, why is this important for me? Because if I know the stages, I know where to stay. And I know what they sound like when I drift off into one I shouldn't be in. Understand, I've been at them. Sandy McFarland, how many times you seen this? Sandy McFarland could tell you right now what stage she's in. You are in one of these 4 stages in your network marketing business right now. You're either fired up, excited, telling everybody. You're either calling and managing your team. You're making a bunch of excuses, or you're on the blame game. And I don't even think you'd be here today if you were in blame. I don't think you would be here. That's when you stop getting on calls and you stop touching base and you start drifting. Okay? So why do I tell you that today? Because it's important. Because here's the thing. If I just knew to spend 80% of my day, 80% of my time in create and build, 20% of my time in manage, and I treat it like a job, I'm employing myself, then whatever hours I'm going to give it in a day, I can look at 80% better be in the presence of prospects between me and my team. If I want to grow a consistent and persistent network marketing business. So, next thing, if I know that, then you've seen me before talk about this. Tim Sales says pipeline. I love his method of the pipeline. But let's talk about the 4 base method, right? Because if I'm going to spend my time, okay, 80% of my time doing this thing, creating and building, then I've got to know how to move people around the bases. So here's my suggestion to you. I don't care where the prospects come from. Social media, personal, people tell you don't invite your family. Here's what I would tell you. Go ask Crystal Vance about inviting her family. Now, it's not saying that your family's not going, they might not do it. They might think you're crazy. No one in my family does this business. My brother, my sister's in the medical field. They won't do it. So get over it, right? But then some people's family are here and it's made them a great, great income stream. So I don't care how you get your list, but get a top 10 list to start your week. You've got to start your week with somebody to talk to. You can't work Tim Sales Pipeline without somebody to prospect. And you go, well, what about my team? Your team needs someone to talk to. Okay? So, someone to talk to, someone to talk to. I start my week. If your week starts on Monday, start your week with people to talk to. So I get them to first base by an invitation. Invitation. Okay. Bad spelling. Try that again. I'm going to say invitation to look. Now here's where I want your input in the comments, okay? Where we can go quick. Give me some examples of invitations to look. So that means prospect number one, I'm going to invite them to take a look. So I'm going to give you an example. Maybe it is a video. You go, how do you do that? If I would you? If I were to send you a quick video, will you take time to watch it? Well, what video do you send? Well, find one. Go to New Age on YouTube and find a video you like, right? Listen, most people's going to really retain about 20% of what they see, okay? So you can think it's the best video in the world. They're going to see about 20% of it. So find a video you like, send it. If I would you? Okay? But give me another one. What's another invite? I got to look at the comments here. Give me just a second. Shop Live. Invitation to look. Shop Live on Wednesday. Okay. Great, Jane. Phone call. Oh, no, nobody picks the phone up anymore. Absolutely. Phone call. Okay. What do you say? Talk to them like a human. Hey, Arlene, how are you doing? Right? How's Enos? How's the weather? Listen, I called you because I was excited. Because I found something that I really think you could benefit from. You've talked to me over the last couple of months about how you were feeling. And I got something I really believe can help you. Okay? Do you got to give them everything on the first call? No, you don't want to. Somebody says coffee, I'm going to call it a one-on-one, okay? One-on-one, coffee shop meeting, okay? What else we got? Absolutely. Listen to the pain points. Somebody said drink burn in public, right? Drink something in public. That's called sizzler. All right? When you drink your product with you, or you've got your band that's, you whatever, that's called a sizzler. Like you're letting people come to you and go, what is that? Now, be careful not to throw up on them at that point. Okay? Just say, oh my goodness, it's unbelievable. It keeps me focused throughout the day. And stop. Let them come a little closer. Okay? Somebody said home meeting. Absolutely home meeting. If you're serious about growing and you're not doing an event in your hometown, like or something, some type of event Like it's something to incorporate. Okay. We could keep on. I'm going to go ahead. A voice message on Messenger. Absolutely. A video message on Messenger. Okay. I'm looking through right here. Oh, I know one more. So Ashley Paulson would say, and others, add, tag, message. So like a group, add, tag, message. I put them in the level up group. I add them to the group. I tag them in a post. I tag them in transformations. I get them acclimated. Here's the deal. They're all invitations to look. You got to figure out the invitation, right? That's why Tim Sales shows you the pipeline, but he leaves it for you to figure out the tool you need to invite, okay? Because you're your own boss. You get to decide. It's a cool thing, but you make the decision, right? And then we get them to second base at that point. So we send them to Shop Live and they don't order yet. Or we call them and they don't just say, here's that, I want to buy $5,000 worth of your product. Right? They're usually not going to do that on first base. Right? You're not going to score usually by getting a single. You got to get around the base. That's why they call it a game. Right? Because it actually takes effort and you got to stay the course and you got to be persistent and consistent and you got to move them around the bases to score. So second base is all about, and here's the deal. Throughout this, you got to follow up. Okay? Somebody asked me one time, like, how much do I got to do? How many follow-ups? As many as it takes. As many as it takes. Like, if it's important to you, you'll follow up with them. And here's the hardest thing. We live such a busy life. It's hard to continue to follow up because we just lose focus. We lose focus. How many of you would give me an amen on that? Like, I lose focus on prospects. So, follow up. Then second base is all about sharing stories. If you're not sharing stories in your business, you're not growing. And what I mean by that, once I get them to second base, then it's all about so you tell me in the comments, how can I share stories? Let me just go around the room. Sandy McFarland, give me an example of a way, and I'll throw one out there. Three-way call. I'm not going to write them down. Three-way call is an example of an opportunity for me to get Andrea Rosser on with me on the phone with a prospect and introduce Andrea and let Andrea share her story of what's happened in this company, in this opportunity. And we start to just collaborate, right? We start to talk. What's another way I can share a story? Where's the place I can share a story? Sandy?
You could share it on face-to-face is the best place to share a story. They can see your excitement more face-to-face, to me, anyway.
Perfect. So face-to-face interaction. And here's the cool thing about face-to-face. I can tap somebody in via FaceTime as a third-party validation for my story. Here's one of the things we don't do enough of. We don't let the people that can share their story in our company help us enough. We try to muscle it on our own. Like if I get face-to-face with somebody, I promise you, I'm going to bring in an outside person, whether they're in person with me or they're on a Zoom or they're on a FaceTime or they're on a text. Like I'm going to bring someone in with me to share their story. Is everybody with me? Wave your hand on that if you understand that. Like you got to bring somebody in to help you. That's the beauty of you're not in this business. You're in the business for yourself, but not by yourself. Okay. So another way to share stories is through Zooms. What about groups like Level Up? Is stories getting shared in Level Up?
Yes.
Level Up Live? Absolutely. And it doesn't have to be Level Up Live. Maybe you got another group that you can add, tag, and put somebody in that shares a story, right? So sharing stories is second base. You got to be able, like, you might score every now and then at first base, but odds are you're going to have to follow up and get them to second base, where you're sharing more stories. Okay. An experience party, a coffee shop sharing stories, a Zoom sharing stories, another video that shares stories and transformations and results of what this is doing. And then again, to get them to third base, remember what I got to do: follow up on the way, follow up. How many times I got to follow up? Many times it takes. Many times it takes, because third base is the close. Third base is the close. It's where I'm extending my hand and going, I want you on my team. Will you do this with me? Stop talking. Like, people want the 10% push, and people want to know they're wanted. Arlene has taught school for years. Kids on a playground want to be chosen on the team. They want to be told, Daryl, I want you on my team. Dude, you've got skill. Me and you could crush this together. Will you do it with me? So the close is that. I just gave it to you. You go, how do I close? You got to ask the question and then be quiet and let them answer. Arlene, what you've been telling me about your lack of focus and lack of sleep, I'm telling you, Arlene, use Renew for the next 30, possibly 60 days. I absolutely believe that it will help you focus and have more energy. Will you take the step and order the products? Arlene, I want to partner with you. You pull them on your team. They need the 10% push. They need to be wanted. Kathy, me and you, I've watched you. I've watched your skill set. You do this. It's so much in the community. You're so connected. Listen, I'll step you through the process, but I want you on my team. We can do big things. Will you do this with me? Will you do this with me, Kathy? Absolutely. Kathy's not going to walk away and go, I feel terrible that Brent wants me on his team. No. Somebody says, that's right. Karen says, slightly move in closer. Yeah, if you're with them, extend your hand. Be a human. Like that's how we grow the business. And then we enroll and team up. Notice that didn't say enroll and go sick them. No one wants to go sick them. Hope you figure it out. Enroll them and then team up with them and teach them this. If you got good at teaching them this, if you got good at walking them through this, here's the deal. Somewhere. We'll go here. If you got good at walking them through that, cancel. Bear with me just a second. All right. If you got good at walking them through that, then what you're going to do is you're going to get good at spending 80% of your time in create and build. Tell me how you can get people around the bases and how you can teach your team to get people around the bases. And if that starts happening, tell me how you're not spending all your time in create and build. That is the blueprint for the $1 million business. Now you go, when does the explosion happen, Brent? Go back to last week when I go, you connect, you connect, you connect, you connect, and then you find a builder. And when a builder is found, a builder happens. You don't find the builder finds you through the connections. And then when that happens, an explosion happens in your business. It might be this week, it might be this month, it might be in 2 years, but through the connection process is where the builders are found. How do you know how to connect? Spend 80% of your time. Spend 80% of your time right there. If you spend 80% of your time right there, that's assurance. Now, for so many of you, you've watched a lot of Tim Sales stuff. That essentially is the pipeline in a different phase, right? It's essentially the same thing. But here's the deal. Through this process, because what people want is they want to know, well, how do I enroll 10 people? Do the 4 base method and get your team to do it. If you don't have a team, then start a team by doing this. Well, how do I do it? Show up on Monday with a top 10 list. How do I get the list? Figure it out. That's how you get the list. Through social media, through people say, I've burned through my list. No, you haven't. You're defending why you're not growing. You're in stage 3. As soon as somebody, I don't say this to them because I'm a little bit nicer than that, but as soon as somebody gives me an excuse, I'm over here going, stage 3. Stage 3. Stage 4. They're in stage 2 because they hadn't enrolled anybody in months and their team's not enrolling anybody. So they're doing a great job managing this whole deal. But the person that's doing stage 1, I know it every time because they're doing this. Maybe they don't know it's called this, but that's what they're doing. And if you got good at doing that, teaching your team to do that, you're going to find the builders through connectors. And that's why I wanted to bring you this message today after last week's message, or the week before. We had a week in between because of the Shop Live. Does this make sense? Did you get value today? So here's what I want to spend the next time. I got 5 minutes because I'm going to let you off a little bit early. Next week, Andrea Rosser is going, and Andrea, thumbs up if you can. You might be out of town. We might have to put it. For some reason, I thought that you told me you were going to be out of town on Tuesday. Thumbs up if you're out of town. Andrea is in the office with me, so it will start echoing if.
I'll make it happen.
Okay. All right. So she says we're on for next Tuesday to move people through this, okay, on the Shoppable Live. So you come here Tuesday. Now, remember the homework assignment. Go follow Ashley Paulson. Look at her stories. Follow Andrea. Follow Crystal Vance. Follow Tammy. Follow others. Arlene. Follow everybody on this thing right here and reverse engineer it to you. But here's what I would say. Copy it and use it. You know, I say steal all the time. Like, just be a good thief of great information from people and use it on your own, right? And from there, that will move you into building for next week's Shoppable Live. But on Tuesday, you're going to get some nuggets from Andrea and people that she brings on that will aid you in the Wednesday process of the Shoppable Live. And here's the thing. If you're coming to this Chalk Talk or you're recommending it to somebody on your team, know this. First of all, none of this is mine. It's stuff that I've gotten from people that have built multi-million-dollar businesses in this industry. as well as it's helped me build multi-million-dollar business. So I want to give you the tools. I want to give you the nuggets that you go, if I do that, then I can expect over time results. And the answer is yes. The challenge is people will do this for a day. They might even do it for a week, but can they be consistent enough to do it well enough to master the art and the skill to effectively do it, and then to teach the team to do it? So I hope that's what you got out of today. So 5 minutes to talk real quick. Raise your hand if you want to say something. And remember, let's get to as many people as we can. So might have to keep it brief. But anybody got any last comments, thoughts, questions? Arlene?
I don't want to take up any more time, but I do have a funny story to tell you about this. When I was so hungry, and I went and ordered Professional Inviter. It came in the mail. I got it, and I started listening to it after school. I didn't remember the time. It was so good. I listened to it all night long. At 7 o'clock in the morning, I realized I had to go to school and teach the next day. I called up the office and said, "Hey, I'm sick today. I can't go. I can't come in." I was sick. I was sick at school. And so I listened all day, and I took notes on those paper, and I put all the comments or things on a.
I don't know what happened. Am I froze or is Arlene froze? Okay. We're going to mute Arlene, but she just gave you something right here. Professional Inviter. Go look it up. Professional Inviter. Use it for yourself. Anyone else want to unmute? Any comments you have from today, please. We love comments, love feedback.
Just wanted to thank you, Brent. Just the reminders, because Gary used to say it all the time, create and build. And it's just such a good reminder. We need to be reminded constantly where to be. And it's just a good reminder for me and everybody else. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Hill. Thanks, Hill. Am I slow or can y'all hear me okay? Okay. So one of the things Hill said, it's so simple to do, but yet do we do it? Okay. If we would just simply go through the day, I said this to the Mexico people, STP, STO, attend an event, AE, and build for an event. This should be something daily that's done if we want to be in create and build. And I would simply have a goal and a result. Okay. So let's say that 5, 5, 1, and 1. Let's say that was my goal. I'm going to share the product with 5 people. I'm going to share the opportunity with 5 people. I'm going to attend one event. Well, what's an event? Anything that you can get a prospect to. Corporate event, Zoom event, 3-way call. Like an event is in the presence of a prospect. What are you going to do today to attend an event? If you never attend an event, so should I attend an event every day? Absolutely. It can take you 5 minutes to attend an event. What's build for an event? If you don't have an event you're building for, that could be a Super Saturday. That could be a regional. That could be an in-home party. That could be an in-home Zoom. A Zoom. That could be a shoppable live I'm building for the event. Like if I'm not building for an event, but if I did this and I spent 80% of my time right here and I taught my team and I went to bed at night going, well, I shared the product with 4, shared the opportunity with 4. Yes, I attended an event, and yes, I built for an event. If I went through the days and then I get back, I want to show you this. I took a picture. A lady that I used to train. It's a little flip chart. You put it in your pocket, like it's a little bitty pad, right? And all that says, she did a Facebook. She said, well, dug out this. back from years ago. Guess what it is? STP, STO, build for an event, attend an event, and she's got her goals, she got her results. Can you imagine flipping back through that? If you let the days turn to weeks and the weeks turn to a month of that right there, and you were truthful with yourself, you're going to grow. So if you're on here going, I want to make more money, do that. How do I do, like, what happens when I do that? What does that mean? How do I get them? How do I share the product, share the opportunity? Here's how you do it. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, right? Does that make sense? I hope that makes sense. Okay. Professional inviter. Arlene just told us. That's not it. I'm learning my board here. Okay. So who else? Anybody else? Great job, Hill. That brought out something good. I hope you're getting value here. I hope you're finding something that you can use for your business. Anybody else? Is that Anna? Hey, Anna, go ahead. Unmute, Anna.
So this was, I really needed to hear this today, I think. As a mother, I want to take care of people. And as my team has started to build, I totally believe that I've gone more to the manage side to try to help them to build them along, and have left myself without going back to the create and build. So this is a great eye opener for me. I've got to turn that back around to the 80-20, and the 4-base method is perfect. So thank you so much.
And listen, no one here, we've got to be in a no guilt zone here, because this is the reason this has been taught for years, dating back to when Bill Britt and Dexter Yeager was first building Amway. Like, this is old school, but the philosophy never changes. It never changes in our industry because we're dealing with humans. Okay. And so, Anna, to your point, the biggest problem I see people have in this industry is they guilt themselves to death. And it's like, stop the guilt. It's what we do to build a network marketing business, because this is a business that is powerful. And anything that's powerful, it takes some skill set. And this is skill set to remember. So give yourself grace. Yes. And focus forward. That's right, Ashley. So thank you, Anna, for saying that, because I can promise you this. There's somebody on here today that says, I'm in stage 3. We don't want you to go through the rest of the day with guilt. We want to be able to, like, pat you on the back and say, get back up into stage 1 and let's go, right? And here's how you go. All right. Anybody else? Last comment. Somebody said, where do you find the recordings? I think Andrea is putting it in the chat. So you can go to my YouTube channel, and there's like a lot of YouTube over the years. A lot of YouTube. Anybody else? Guys, this was a great day. And I want to tell you why, and I'm going to leave you with this. Because as I was teaching them, I was teaching myself. Don't think for one second Brent Palmer does not go through challenges building this business. I've been blessed and grateful to have earned millions of dollars in this industry. But through the process, I've also been in stage 3. I've also blamed people, where it's a scary place to be. But through learning this, I've always also recruited new people and built teams. And when I'm in doubt and questioning myself, serve, find opportunities to serve, because that'll always bring you back home. That'll always bring you back into feeling right in doing this business. And so that's what we're trying to do with this Chalk Talk session. when we bring it to you is just serve. Is serve and hopefully give you something that's of value that you can grow your business with. So guys, we love you. We appreciate you. Have a great Tuesday. Don't miss. I'm telling you, if I had a team, I would bring them here next week because they're going to hear from Andrea Rosser and some others about the Shoppable Live that, guess what? Not only is it going to bless you, but it's going to bless them. But it's also going to bring a lot of volume to your business. So it would be a great strategy to build for that event. Okay. Next Tuesday. See you guys. Love you.
Thanks, Brent. Really appreciate
Thank
it.
you
Brent.
so much.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
too.
Thank you so
Thanks.
much.